Many of my coaching clients have been facing some challenges lately, which has had an impact on their body transformation, and wondering if you can relate to any of this. For some of them, it's been battling the cold and the flu, which has kept them out of the gym, in addition to increasing their appetite at times for their body to recover and heal itself. So it's making it difficult for them to stick with their nutrition plan, or at least acknowledge that what's in their body's best interest right now is to not be in a calorie deficit and to accept that. For another coaching client, they had a blood clot in their leg, which was likely due to cramped conditions on an airplane. Another coaching client had an infection in his leg, which had to be drained and kept him out of the gym. Another coaching client slipped on the steps and fortunately didn't fall down. She was able to grab onto the railing and catch herself, but it still strained her upper body from stopping herself from falling down the steps. Another coaching client had a small tear in his rotator cuff. Another coaching client had a freak accident with his elbow. Another one with intercostal muscles, like while the elbow one was falling while jogging, just missing a step, just something, just not paying attention and falling onto the pavement and injuring his elbow there. Another one, freak incident with simple body movement and intercostal muscle, so a muscle between the ribs straining on him there. Among other things, there's just been some weird, freaky things going on this time of year. And most people in these situations would buckle. They would throw in the towel. They would beat themselves up with a lot of negative self-talk, thinking to themselves, why does this always happen to me? Every time the going gets good, every time I'm in a great groove with my body transformation, something always happens. And the reason they're thinking this, the reason they're beating themselves up with this negative self-talk is oftentimes they're thinking to themselves when they embark on this body transformation is that this is the time that everything's going to go smooth. I'm finally going to achieve my body transformation goals. And that couldn't be further from the truth. You cannot transform your body without facing adversity. And this is the key. The sooner you can recognize that, acknowledge that, and embrace that, the more rewarding your journey is going to be, the more you're going to gain out of this overall experience. Now, with my coaching clients, whenever they face a challenge like this, I really get them to view it that yes, it may be a step back, maybe 2 steps back, but even when you're taking a step backwards, it's always moving you forward. And instead of beating yourself up or having any negative self-talk about why this is happening to you, like having this pity party, like maybe have a pity party for a minute, but then realize that this is an opportunity to not view this as something bad, but to view it as an opportunity to learn and grow, to become better, and really getting excited because of that. And to use myself as an example, 6 weeks ago, I separated my shoulder here playing hockey, freak accident, got tripped and slid into the boards and separated it. Do I wish it never happened? Yeah, I wish it never happened. Like, it feels so bizarre having my collarbone out of place. But wishing that it never happened isn't going to do me any good. It's not going to serve me in any way, shape, or form. My collarbone is as it is. It's always going to be out of place from here on out. Wishing it wasn't like that isn't going to benefit me in any way. But immediately when it happened, after throwing myself a quick little pity party, like, damn, life was good. Everything was going great up to this point. I was really building some serious momentum here. I'm like, all right, I got excited to make the quickest, safest recovery possible. What do I need to do to get my shoulder feeling 100% again? To get myself moving and feeling my absolute best. And the beauty with that is that yeah, I had to modify my workouts in the gym, but I had a reason to celebrate each and every workout because I was seeing progress with my shoulder. Even when I was doing self-massage, even when I was doing some of the rehab little simple exercises, seeing any kind of measurable progress got me excited. Really sparked enthusiasm for my training. I'd say I wasn't necessarily quite in a rut with my training, But this like took my training up to a new level. It got me invigorated. It got me excited to go into the gym, the kind of excitement that I haven't experienced in a little while. And it also got me looking into some prehab exercises so I can incorporate them into my overall active lifestyle to possibly prevent these kinds of injuries from happening in the future, or at least reduce the risk of any type of injury. So really kind of, I guess, quote unquote, bulletproofing my body. So taking an even more holistic approach to my training than ever before to really not just maximize my muscle gains, but to make my body as strong as possible in all aspects. So incorporating the mobility, the flexibility, and the stability exercises that are going to make me as strong as it can possibly be to handle any kind of potential trauma that my body may face. Now, this is very similar to, I'm very philosophical, very spiritual. It's a lot of the books that I read are philosophy based. I love Buddha's teachings, and in his teachings, he says that all life is suffering. Now, some people are going to interpret that and go, well, that's a miserable existence. But what he meant by that is that suffering leads to happiness, that you can't experience happiness unless you experience some suffering. So becoming aware of your suffering, identifying the root cause of that suffering, recognizing that it's possible to alleviate that suffering, and it's the path that you take to alleviate that suffering where you are experiencing the happiness, the progress that you are gaining from that experience, the mini victories that you experience along that path throughout that journey. That is the key to your happiness. So if you weren't suffering, you're not going to experience all those kinds of mini victories along the way. And it's, again, philosophical based there. I love Stoicism. They tend to ponder a lot on death and challenge. And it's not because they're these Debbie Downers. It's because they want to prepare themselves for if they ever do face these challenges, prepare themselves for death. And also, when you recognize that you are immortal, that you will die, it also gives you the reason to, all right, live your life to the fullest, like make the most out of being alive. So I encourage you, whenever you face a challenge, whenever you face a setback, to not view that step backwards as moving away from your goal, but to actually view it as, this is what I need to move forward towards my goal. It's, again, I'm always referencing Nelson Mandela back there. You're either winning or you're learning. So if you're experiencing a victory, yeah, you're winning. You overcame a temptation. You overcame a challenge. Like, good for you. But if you are struggling, if you cave into a temptation, if you can learn from that experience, that is winning. So again, you are going, like, don't view challenges or suffering as something that is bad, something that's miserable. Get excited. Think to yourself immediately when that happens, yeah, you can have a little pity party for a minute or so, but then focus on the solution. Get excited for, what's the opportunity here? How am I going to learn and grow? How am I going to become better from this experience? What is this? Is it happening for a reason? I'm someone who believes things that happen for a reason. Yeah, again, it sucks that I separated my shoulder. It sucks that my collarbone's always popping up. It feels a little weird at times when it's popping up, but it has helped me in so many different ways that wouldn't have happened if this didn't happen. So as much as I wish it didn't happen, I'm kind of glad it did, because it's opened my eyes to how I can approach my lifestyle, my training, my mindset in a way that's going to strengthen me even more for decades to come.